Hey everybody, I'm Josh, and welcome to another episode of Just Sayin. Thank you. On the show today, join me as we take a look at that awkward age in life where you start growing hair in random places and your voices change. Sit back and relax because I got a lot to say. I do have someone helping me with all my buttons and stuff this week, and I know that I messed up in my line just a second ago, and they're trying to tell me, start over. I'm not starting over. I know people only have one voice, that your voices can't change. So I'm just going to say your voice changes. How's that? Anyway. Moving right along, sorry, I have so much to talk about on this show this week. As I've said before, August is back to school month, so all month long we're focusing on a different level of school each week. This week we're focusing on junior high, those wonderful tween and teen years where you just start feeling not yourself. Which leads me kind of into the host chat, but not, because I'm not ready for that yet. But, be sure to join me next week. Because I'm going to tell you, I live in a small town. It's kind of a religious town. And of course, growing up gay, and hiding it and everything. I'm going to give you a little bit of my side of what I went through and how I know how hard it is for the teenagers in this stage of life. And maybe my story can help some people, maybe it won't. I'll be honest with you, this is episode 4. That's episode 5. I don't even have it written yet. Normally I'm ready to film it, and I'm not. And I haven't even written episode 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. I'm a little behind right now. But that's for another day. Actually, I've just had no energy because I cut back on Mountain Dew, which leads me to my next thing. There is a plastic shortage and a glass shortage here in the area. Literally, as I boasted, I came out here last week and I told you guys that I was cut back on my Mountain Dew, and I'm drinking other things. I was drinking Gatorade. I personally went to 2 stores. My mom went to 3 stores. Every store, their Gatorade section was empty. Well, come to find out, there's a plastic shortage, and they can't find bottles. Like companies that make bottled water, they can't find bottles, so it's going to be weird. You're not going to be able to get those here in a little bit. And one thing that I thought was like taxes and termites, ketchup packets are not being able to be found. The local gas station here in town, Casey's, they normally have ketchup packets, but now they just have a bottle of ketchup sitting there because they can't find the packets to put the ketchup in. So anyway, also, I work in a restaurant, which I've told you guys before, and we are out of Miller Lite. We're almost out of Bud Light bottles. And our distributors are telling us that they're not sure when they're going to get any more bottles in. It may not be till Labor Day. Now, keep in mind, it is August right now. That's at least another month away. Well, I'm filming on August 1st right now, but that's at least another month away. So, what are the beer drinkers going to do? We'll find out, I guess. So, because there's no Gatorade, I thought I would start a new little bit on the show called What is Josh Drinking? And so every week I'm going to drink something different. Maybe try something new. I don't know. And I'm going to give them a little promo. So let's find out this week, what is Josh drinking? Today I'm drinking Snapple Apple. You really can't see it. Snapple Apple. I'm sorry, I just brushed the microphone. So we're going to put that right there. And we're going to promote that this week. And I'm already drinking one. So here's the Snapple Cap Real Fact number 45. Elephants are capable of swimming 20 miles a day. Who knew? If you want more Snapple facts, go to Snapple Fact. To get all the real facts, go to Snapple.com. Anyway, without further ado, let's continue here. Like I said, be sure to join me next week because I'm going to share a little bit of my story. And the reason I haven't written it yet is because I want it to be perfect. It was obviously a very strange time for me. Like I know a lot of teenagers are going through right now. And it was especially hard growing up, like I said, gay in a small religious town, in a family that went to church every week. And I don't want to say we're very religious, but we are religious. I went to Catholic church every week. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of that without getting too personal while making it funny and trying to get a point across. So that's why it's kind of complicated. Every time I sit down to write it, I'm just like, how am I going to do this? And I'm also, rumor has it, around the production studio here, all of my employees, that rumor is, and I cannot confirm nor deny this, but you may get to see some of my baby pictures. Maybe. I don't know. You would think since it's my show, I would know what I'm going to be showing, and I don't. And I just about spilled my Snapple apple. Anyway, so be on the lookout for that. I just want to remind you guys all real quick, please follow me on TikTok. That's my TikTok address. I'll show it again at the end of the show. On my TikTok, you're going to find behind-the-scenes looks, and my subscription challenge updates, and the Taser Versus videos. So please click subscribe right now, or at the end of the show, or anytime during the show, and watch the entire show, please. And stay a subscriber until Season 7 has started. For every subscriber I get this season, until I post the Season 7 premiere, I will donate $1 up to $100 to Toys for Tots so that we can make the less fortunate kids have a great Christmas this year. So all you got to do is click that subscribe button. That's all. And you give a child a toy. How great is that? Do your good deed for the day and just click subscribe. Thanks. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move on with the show with another cheesy monologue. I'm going to throw you off. As I mentioned 2 weeks ago, I went to latenightLOL.com and in the search bar typed in school. There were over 400 jokes, so all month long, all the jokes will have something to do with school while being outdated. Hold on tight. Here we go. The district superintendent says that playing dodgeball, quote, is counter to what we're trying to accomplish with the anti-bullying plan, end quote. If you really want to ban bullying from school, you're going to have to ban children. At a high school in Texas, a science experiment backfired and the school was evacuated. The experiment that backfired was trying to teach science in Texas. Chinese President Xi Jinping is planning to make his first official state visit to the U.S., although I'm a little worried about what's going to happen when he walks into a school and says, "This is not a good factory." I'm not going to try a Chinese accent. Don't ask me. I don't want to offend anyone. A lot of kids across the country got the day off from school because of Halloween. I'm pretty sure that's why we're falling behind China, because not only did they not get off school, they had to go to work. Pope Francis actually put himself through school by working as a bouncer at a nightclub, which I guess will help really well now since he's like the bouncer of heaven. I don't know. And I've said this before. I'm a firm believer, and everything happens for a reason. And I've done this take like 8 times now. And every time I do that joke, I hit the applause button. It's like, it's a sign that I'm congratulating Pope Francis for being the bouncer of heaven. Anyway. Silly Catholics. And I'm Catholic, I can say that. Here's this week's point to ponder. The 2 best days of school, the first and the last. It's time now for my joke of the week. At Dartmouth College, let's start that over again, sorry. I can't even begin the joke. And it's the joke of the week. Right when I was going to say it's not going to work, I'm over it. It doesn't. Anyway. So here we go. Dartmouth College has renamed its medical school after Dr. Seuss because there's nothing you like better to hear than you have no cancer in your toes, you have no cancer in your nose. All the high schools in LA were closed today because of someone sent the school system a threatening email. They got a similar message in New York and decided it was a hoax, which allowed the schools to stay open. But in LA, we have so many fake things, we don't know what's real anymore. Last night during the debate, Jeb Bush admitted that he smoked pot in high school. Then Jeb assured everyone he no longer does that. Since he lives in Florida, it's all about meth. And old people medicine. And finally, in Indiana, a high school teacher is in trouble for taking his students to a strip club. His explanation, he just wanted to show the kids his chemistry between himself and Bambi. They didn't believe she existed. Anyway, moving on. So, in the show today, like I said, we're talking about junior high. I'm going to kind of stretch the segments to make them fit. Like this next one really isn't about junior high art fails, but we're going to pretend like junior hires could do better than what I'm about to show you in a segment I like to call Nailed It, kinda. I have no idea what's going on. There we go. Now it's acting right. Okay. I'm thinking I know which one is the professional one, but let's take a look. Can you spot the professional pancake? I was going to say the one on the right, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm guessing that the assignment in school was to draw a self-portrait of yourself. Obviously, it's of yourself if it's a self-portrait. Draw a self-portrait while looking into a carnival mirror. Because she is much prettier than what was drawn. Now, I don't know much about Asian history. I don't know if it's all Asian. I don't want to offend anyone. And I know that there's a lot of religious statues that kind of look like this. And I just want to make it clear that I'm not mocking the religious. Anything religious, I'm not mocking it. Except for Catholicism, but that's okay because I can. Anyway. But I think that this is a statue a child made of one of those religious Chinese statues. Take a look. It looks like a baseball player instead of a religious figure. But hey, some people do worship sports players. So maybe it is. Maybe it is. I think it's an art. When you go to like Starbucks or whatever and they have a barista, I think it's art when they can take the foam and draw a picture. However, you have to be careful what you're drawing, because even though this was supposed to be a heart, it kind of maybe was a little more suggestive. Kind of maybe. I don't know. Kind of maybe. So this next picture, and I have one kind of like it, is about a new trend that I am not a fan of. And I really hope no one around me does it. I'm sure it's beautiful on some people. It just creeps me out. For some reason, people are doing nail polish with bubbles so that they're like arched up. I don't think this was professionally done, but this is kind of what it's supposed to look like. Like, how, why, what? How is that cool? That is disgusting. It looks gross. I don't get it. Now, when you decorate, you have two options. Decorate and get it done, or decorate it and make it look nice. Can you tell which one was which? Okay, so this next guy is very attractive. I've mentioned him on the show I think the beginning, when I told you about him costing Coca-Cola $50 million, or $5 million or $1 billion for moving 2 Coke bottles. Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, he's very attractive, and they honored him in Spain, or wherever he plays. Portugal, actually, I think it is. Anyway, they honored him by giving him a statue at the stadium he plays at, but it just doesn't really look like him. At all. He doesn't show teeth. His neck is not 800 feet long. And his hair is totally wrong. Can you make a statue actually look like someone? Okay, so this next one is really disgusting. Well, it's not disgusting. Okay, I shouldn't say it's disgusting. It creeps me out. And I'm trying not to look at the monitor right now because it's popped up there, and it's one of those fingernail things. But the one on the left kind of looks cool until you see how they do it, which makes it look even more gross. It's just like super glue on balls, on their fingernail, and then they decorate them. Like, that kind of looks cool until you see that it's like 3D, and that's what because it doesn't look like it should be like that. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, and I've told you guys before, I was in the EMS for 8 years. I've seen some stuff, and and every time, even though I had adrenaline pumping and it was my professional side of me, I would go through and deal with whatever I had to see or deal with. But now, since I haven't done it in a while, I'm kind of squeamish about that kind of stuff. I don't know why, but anyway, maybe it's because I don't have the adrenaline pumping. I don't know. Anyway, but that just, if it doesn't look like how it looks like something's coming out of it. It's just so weird. It just creeps me out. And I don't know about you. Obviously, I wasn't around during the dinosaur ages, but I don't remember learning about a dinosaur that looked like this. Tell me more, but I don't remember learning about one. So, we're going to move on to the next segment, and the only way I can intermingle this one into it is by saying that teenagers this time of your life think that their parents are the stupidest people on the earth, and the most embarrassing people. Well, these are some warning signs that I think kids could give their parents because they think of how stupid they think they are. In a segment I'm quickly loving called Warning. There's a warning. So, this first one is on a medicine bottle, and I don't know whose it is. I found it online. I blurred out all the pertinent information, but I don't understand. I've said it. I just literally said it. I've been in the medical field, and I know, like, QID is 4 times a day. BID is 2 times a day. You know, I know a lot of the medical terminology that some people may not know, and how like, if you were to, there's a product out called BC powder. I think that's what it's called. And it's basically just crushed up aspirin. Honestly, that's all it is. And the reason it's pre-crushed is because therefore the pill doesn't have to dissolve, so it hits your system quicker. It doesn't have to take that time for the pill to dissolve in order to activate it. It's already getting ready to activate. I know that that's the quickest absorption besides an IV, whatever. I have never, and I've heard of having to take some medication this way. However, I've never, I've known several people who have been asthmatic. I've used an inhaler before. Never have I ever thought to ever use my inhaler rectally. That must be some kind of new medical condition that I don't know about. Now, I'm going to show you that warning label. And then I'm going to tell you, because I had to kind of zoom it in to see the warning label. And then I'm going to tell you what the object is, if you haven't guessed it by the time I'm done. It says, warning, this product may contain chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, or other reproductive harm. This warning is issued in accordance to California, blah, 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 blah. It's a baseball. How can that have something in it that can cause cancer? I mean, having reproductive harm could be a good warning since it could hit you in the nuts, but causing cancer? A baseball? My friend Alyssa and I's island. We will never have a warning label like this, and if we ever have to have a warning label like this, you know that person's getting rocketed off our island. Because on a container of something to drink, I don't know what it is, but it says, warning, drink, then swallow. I have never tried to swallow before drinking. And if anyone can do it, please let me know. Because you're kind of weird. Now, this goes without saying. Obviously, if we had to have this kind of a warning label, we're not the brightest population in the world. But on a package of firewood, wood you buy to put in a fireplace or a fire pit or take camping to start fires, says, caution, risk of fire. Really? Firewood is for fires? Who knew? Here's the next one. This one maybe isn't a sign in a residential neighborhood. I don't know. Maybe it's on the mower itself. I don't know. But I love how they're now warning you to notice where your kids are. Like in this picture. But can we zoom in really quick on the trap mower? Make sure your child is not underneath the tire. Really, did we have to draw a picture and put a line through it? That's not where we want our children to be? What? Now, I've only seen this done in movies. I hope it's not ever done in real life. But I don't know bigger cities. I don't know everyone in the world and how drunk and stupid they get. But apparently on an electric fence, there is a warning that says, do not pee on electric fence. You don't have to do everything you see in the movie Jackass. It's a movie with stupid people who would be rocketed off our island. That's our society, people. That's your future generation. Now, I think that this sign should be on every baseball diamond, in every gym, in every sports arena, every football field, everywhere. Because the first few bullet points make a good point, and then the last one's just kind of funny. These are kids. This is a game. Parents should cheer for everyone. The referees are human. You and your child do not play for the Chicago Blackhawks. Which means they're not professional. They will mess up. Simmer down. If you're old enough to remember the SNL skit, simmer down now. You'll understand what I just did. Anyway, moving right along. Did you know I am 38 years old? And I have never had to be told this. But then again, we are talking about a generation where when our parents were filling up the car, they were sitting there with a cigarette hanging out of their mouth. But, just so you know, I don't think it's a good idea to use a lit match or open flame to check the fuel level. Use a stick of dynamite. It fits in the hole better. It's a little bit... Never mind. I'm not going to go there because it's just going to turn into a weird conversation. Next up, this one is just... I'm sorry, but if you have to read this one, it's too late for you. Literally. Helicopters operate in this area. If you find yourself walking towards a big noisy thing with spinning blades, turn the... around, Einstein. Sorry, I realized I forgot. I had removed my censor button. Because there was the delay, and I quit using it. Not the brightest. And finally, as a gay person, maybe that's why I don't understand this sign. Maybe that's why this isn't sticking out to me. But apparently, airports have to tell people, do not eat the carpet. Who knew? People eat carpet. I know straight guys do. But anyway, so we're going to move along to the next one. And these are just funny. I had to close out the segment, or close out the show. I can't link this one to the other, like I could with the others as loosely as I did. So we're just going to look at some hilarious sign fails that businesses have used. So hold on tight. It's time for another hilarious edition of What's Wrong Here? Did you know that somewhere, I don't know where this is, it is forbidden to eat seagulls in the street? Darn it, there goes my seagulls vending cart idea. I'm sorry, I'll buy it for you, but you have to go in the building to eat it. Or I'll sell it to you, but you have to go into the building to eat it. This seems like a waste of taxpayer money. For whatever reason, the city, county, state, whatever, thought it would be funny to make a sign that says, sign is not in use. Really? We need to make that sign. If there's not a sign there, obviously it's not going to be in use. Now, I understand the difference in this next picture between the street sign and the stop sign. I get it. It's just the way that they are laid out. It kind of confuses people who would be visiting that area. When you see a sign that says, go forth and stop. What do you do? A little bit confusing. Next, I love signs that are trying to tell you, for example, to plan ahead. When they obviously don't take the time to do what they're telling you to do. Because they didn't have enough room for the entire word of ahead. Really? Well, then you shouldn't be in the position of making the signs. Now, I don't know. Maybe this is an issue for other states, like Louisiana, where they actually have alligators or crocodiles, but we don't here in Illinois. And even though we don't, it's just common sense that you wouldn't feed your child to an alligator. Really? We can't put the baby inside the alligator's mouth so they can see what it's like in there? That's not a good idea? And they say I shouldn't have kids. Speaking of kids, I understand that this is a speed limit sign. I understand that they're trying to tell you no faster than 20 miles an hour because there are children in the area. I don't think they worded it the way they wanted it. Do not exceed 20 children. You probably shouldn't exceed more than 3 or 4. And I have to say 4 because my sister had 4. Anyway, I am a male, obviously. And I am terrified of going wherever this sign is. And I say that because apparently if you go there and you're a male, you'll get your eggs cut off. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the sign, but I'm pretty sure I read it correctly. Now this one should be a sign that we should pass into law. Children left unattended will be sold to the circus. Barnum and Bailey's will be back. And finally, now I get that you're trying to leave the nostalgia of the old atmosphere, the old signs, the old buildings, old architecture. But it just doesn't look right. Eat Jessica's Family? No, thank you. Donner, Party of One? No. Okay. Too soon? Anyway. Well, that'll do it for this week and for junior high. Next week, be sure to, like I said, tune in because I'm going to give you a little bit of my story and try and teach you a lesson all at the same time. How? I don't know, which is why the segment's not even written yet. So I'm going to end this show so I can finish that show to start filming that show so I can finish working on the other shows. I got lots to do, people. So be sure to follow me on TikTok. Click that subscribe button, which I'll mention all this here in just a minute anyway. But if you think there's something funny you think I should see and share on the show, please send it to me. There is my social media accounts, including my TikTok. And please note that I took off my Instagram because I don't use it. So please be sure, let's help the kids for Christmas this year. Click that subscribe button. Only subscribe. I don't care if episode 2 of season 7 you unsubscribe. Subscribe this season so I can donate $1 for every subscriber I get so we can help kids have a good Christmas for Toys for Tots. Also, like the video and get the notifications anytime I post something. But let's be real. I post only on Sundays for 10 weeks and then off for 3. I post mostly on my TikTok. So be sure to subscribe here and follow me on TikTok. And you'll be my new best friend. And you'll help some unfortunate kids have a great Christmas. So, next week, join me as we take a look at the high school age kids and you hear what my life was like. Until then, everybody, and until next week, that's all I'm saying.